A very warm afternoon to all my dear kids. I, Sakshi Singh, once again welcome you all in today's English class. Well, my dear students, in the previous class, we dealt with present perfect tense. Okay? And today we are going to deal with past perfect tense. See, perfect tense plays a very important role in a tense. Okay? And you all know that in all the perfect tense, we only use past participle. Past participle means that is verb third form. Suppose if I am saying steal, the third form of steal is that is stolen. Okay. So now with this I proceed further. Well, you all know that the past perfect tense, what is this tense? And when do we use it in English? What is the use of this? Okay, let's find it out. Well, we use past perfect tense to describe one past action happening before another past action. Okay? Well, I once again repeat myself. We use past perfect tense to describe one past action happening before another past action. What does it mean? Let's find it out. Well, first use it completed action before something in the past. So the same thing which I just now I said it to you in the previous slide, that past perfect expresses the idea that something occurred before another action in the past. Okay? It can also show that something happened before a specific time in the past. Means there are two actions taking place simultaneously. Fine. In that, you can say in these two actions, you need to find out which action happened first and which action happened second. Accordingly, you will have to use a tense. Like, just take example one. The train had gone when I arrived at the station. You can see here that there are two tenses here. Had gone, that we use in past perfect tense. What is the formula of past perfect tense that we use? Just now I told it to you all that we use third form of the verb, that is go. Base form is go, okay, and the third form is gone. And helping verb we use had, as in case of present perfect tense we use has and have. So here the train had gone. This is the first action. When I arrived at the station, arrived here is what? That is simple past, that is action 2. Okay. So both action 1 and action 2 are past actions. It happened, it's completed, it finished. Action 1 happened before action 2. So that's why action 1 is in past perfect tense and action 2 is in simple past. See here. The train had gone when I arrived at the station. Just you can see the timeline here. Past, now, and then future. We don't know when exactly the train went. Okay, means we do not have any idea. We do not have the time that we can say that by this time. But action 1 this is, but it went at any certain point of time. Before the moment I arrived. That is second action. Few more examples you can say duration before something in the past. We had owned our car for 10 years before it finally died. They had been married for 5 years when they had their first child. Okay. Now, let's take one more example. I had eaten my breakfast. Okay. I'm telling it to you. I had eaten my breakfast before I went to school. Just listen to me very carefully. I had eaten my breakfast before I went to school. I had eaten breakfast. This is first action before I went to school. So, how do we use the past perfect tense? So, basically, the past perfect tense expresses action in the past before another action in the past. Means
This is the past in the past. Okay, means you can say that just something happened in the past, that is a past action. So the train left. Okay, we arrived. Suppose I'm just putting up the time also. The train left at 9 a.m. We arrived at 9:15. So what do we say? When we arrived, generally what do we say? When we arrived, the train had left. Okay. So there are two actions and that happened. Like here you can see at 7 p.m. yesterday, John returned from office. It will be, I have taken few more examples because this tense, it's not like something like theoretical you are going to understand. If you are going to understand through examples, it would be much, much better for you. Okay. 7 p.m. yesterday, John returned from office. Now, I have just put some time limit. Okay. It will be, easy for you to understand that. 8 p.m. yesterday, I cooked dinner. Let's see. John returned from office. I cooked dinner and I have already quoted time there. Fine. So when did John return from office? John returned from office at 7 o'clock, means 7 p.m. So John, in what way we are going to write? So base verbs here are what? Return and cook. So John had returned from office. Just see, I am again, just check. John had returned from office 7 p.m. Okay. And before I cooked dinner, it means that the first action is what? That is John returned from office. Second action is what? That is I cooked dinner. So John had returned from office before I cooked dinner. So same thing, earlier action and later action. So the earlier action will be in past perfect tense and later action will be in simple past. The same thing, John had returned. So this sentence can be written two ways. Okay, you can use before also and you can use after also. Before, and after, how you are going to use? I cooked dinner after John had returned from office. Okay, but you need to take care of the words which you are using. It's the form of the conjunctions only. Okay. Now again, it would be wrong to say, if I would write it in another form, I had cooked dinner after John returned from office. This is the later action. It means that this is a later action. Okay. So this is the later action. We cannot use had cooked, means past perfect tense, in a later action. The play had begun when I reached the theater. Base verbs begin and reach. So here the play had begun. The play had already begun before I reached the theater. Means first action is, you can say earlier action is the play had begun and the later action is when I reached the theater. Had played football regularly till last month. Again the same thing. He had played regularly till last month. Now see, shows an action or event happened before a specific time in the past. There are two uses as if now. First, if you talk about like two simultaneous actions are taking place. Second, the action happened before a specific time in the past, and a specific point of time is what here it is given, that is till last month. Base verb is play. Okay. And here you can say play, past participle of play is played. Okay. And past perfect, that is had played. She had sent me a postcard with her address some years back. Again, the certain point is there shows an action that happened a long time ago in the past. Base verb is sent. Now, simple past also tells you about the past actions. Past perfect also tells you about past actions. So what is the basic difference between past perfect and simple past? Ponder it. Basic difference between simple past and past perfect is that simple past, it tells you about, if you talk about the time period, It's just happened before a day, you can say 1 day, 2 day, a week. But if you talk about past perfect tense, either it would be two tense, okay, simultaneous action, and if there would be like earlier and later one. If it is not this case, then a long time ago in the past. In that reference, we will always use past perfect tense. We will not use simple past. Okay, so just do remember. So let's take few more example. Okay. Uh, he came to my house. Okay. Then I had already left. So the first thing is that I had already been left before he came to my house. So he came to my house after I had already left. Okay. Or you can also use here before. See, in the present perfect tense, I mentioned few key terms through which you can recognize that this particular sentence we are using present perfect tense. So this case with past perfect also, that there are few words, okay, which through which you can say that we could figure it out that yes, this is past perfect tense, like after, before, as soon as, by the time. Okay, so just make a sentence like after and had, after and before. We have already, we have seen the examples. Now, by the time the police arrived, listen to me, by the time the police arrived, the thief had escaped. So here again the two actions. As soon as the thief had escaped, the police arrived. The same way you are using before and after, the same way you can use by the time and as soon as. Because in your cornerstone, if you see, there is one exercise that you need to join two sentences. Okay. So there you will have to use these key terms, keywords. With the help of these keywords only, you will have to join those sentences. Then, so it is very correct to say after he finished the meeting, he made a telephone call. Or you can say before he made a telephone call, he had finished the meeting. So you all know that structure of the past perfect tense is what? Had plus verb, third form. So first will be subject, then you can say helping verb, auxiliary you can say, or main verb. Fine. So all these things what I am telling it to you right now, I would be sharing the presentation in the form of notes. If you want, if you wish, you can jot down the important points. Okay. You can jot down the important points in your fair grammar copy. You will find one worksheet, okay, where put the verbs into correct form using past perfect tense. And I would be sharing two audios with you all towards the just after our Zoom session. Okay. In Zoom session, we would be dealing with the exercise, which I sent it on Monday. And I'll share the answers just after the Zoom session of the previous sent exercise worksheet and of past perfect tense. Okay. So till then, take care, enjoy yourself, stay blessed, and stay safe. Bye bye.